So we are potentially live on YouTube. Be aware of that. It takes it a long time to set up, so this is why I do this before the event really starts. Okay.
Well, I appreciate your giving me the time to make sure I can actually log in.
Okay. So that is happening. And you guys can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great. All right.
Yep, sounds good.
Oh, welcome, Colleen.
Thank you. Good to see you all again.
Good to see you too.
So we'll be getting started in a couple of minutes. We'll give some time for people to find their way here. And we are attempting the live stream on YouTube option. So sometimes that works well. Sometimes it causes problems. We're going to hope for the best today.
What's the difference between Zoom and YouTube for the participant?
For the participants on YouTube, you can watch and you can type in the chat, but you can't actually talk.
Oh, right. Okay.
So,
will we be interacting?
Yeah, so we're going to have a little time for that before the meditation starts, and then a little time after as well.
Great. So I'll stay here. Thank you.
And just if you know, at any point during the meditation, whatever, if you don't want to have your video showing, just make sure that you shut off your video at your side. When we do the meditation, I will mute everybody as well, so that it'll stay quiet. Set up here. Okay. Okay, well, I'm not sure who else we're expecting. Not a lot of people actually pre-registered. So we'll get ourselves started here in a moment. So just wishing everyone a very happy equinox. Welcome. So do try and arrange yourself for a meditation session. That means finding a place where you can sit comfortably and not be disturbed during the meditation portion. Make sure any devices or alarms are muted or turned off for the duration, so we don't have to worry about that. And so that doesn't disturb you during the meditation portion. So what I'd like to do first is have us go around and just quickly say who we are, where we're calling in from. I realize that's actually the same location for a few of you. And one thing you're grateful for that, that you see when you step outside your door. So my name's Michelle. I'm calling from near Santa Cruz, California. And thing that I see that I'm grateful for when I step outside my door is a big redwood tree. So Orion, would you like to go next?
My name is Orion Soul. I am calling in from Pleasant Hill, and the thing that I am most grateful for when I walk outside is my roses outside. Well, technically they're not mine, but I like to call them mine.
That works. How about Lisa?
Also Pleasant Hill, California, and I am grateful for the fresh air, which, yes, I can see.
And how about Sequoia?
My name is Sequoia, and I am, or at least one of the things that I'm grateful for when I walk outside is the sunlight.
So Barbara and Summer, you came on a little bit before we got started. So the invitation is say your name, say where you're calling from, and something you see when you step outside your door that you can be grateful for. So Barbara, are you ready? Oh, Barbara, we're not hearing you.
Yeah, I'm not seeing her.
Yeah. Okay, well, Summer.
Oh, here she comes. She's
Oh,
connected.
good. Okay. Summer, why don't you go ahead while Barbara gets connected?
So Summer Rose, Santa Cruz, California, and I look out my door and I see a big open sky. Makes me very happy.
Okay, Barbara, I think we can hear you now.
I hope so.
Yes.
I don't hear you either. So, hi, I'm
Hi.
here.
Hello.
Oh. Oh.
You're breaking up there, girl.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's at my end or your end, but Barbara, I'm just hearing bits and pieces.
I'll just sit back and listen.
And no picture.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got one of these. I don't know. That puts Lisa in the bottom and just a little icon in the center. Does that
Okay.
help?
Have you
No, but you know, as long as you can see everyone else, we'll just envision you. Can you tell us what you see outside your door that you can be grateful for?
Oh my gosh, blue sky. Woo-wee.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, trees, grass, beautiful. Just, you know, I can't look any place that I'm not grateful. I'm grateful for my ladder and my tree and my barn and the old trailer here and the motorhome and stuff. You know, we got stuff. If you could see me, I'd show you.
Okay. And Colleen, you're the last on the circle around on my screen anyway, so go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Colleen and I'm in Northeast San Jose, and when I go out my door, there's a creek across the way, which is becoming dearer and dearer as the climate changes. Many native plants in there, although not all of them, and they're kind of my buddies. I'm very grateful for their presence and support. Thank you.
Oh, that's good. So, and just for those of you who came on a little late, the other thing to note is we are recording this or live streaming on YouTube right now, and then the recording will be up later. So just be aware of that. And, you know, at any point, if you want to turn your video off or go on mute, feel free to do so.
Oh, maybe I can
So
start video.
we'll be settling in. Hey, Barbara, we can see you and your lovely trees.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, you said video, and I thought, well, is my video on? I'm not very good at this stuff.
That's all right. We're all making it work. Oh. So while we settle in, I'll just tell you a little bit about Novasutras and what's up for the organization right now. Share a little news, explain a little about the meaning of the equinox and you know, where we are in relation to the earth and the sun, and the way we're traveling through space. And of course, review our terms Agaya and Ubuntu. And then we will call the corners, and I'll invite you if you want. You can do that standing up and facing in the different directions, or just sitting down and thinking through it. And then we'll settle in for a little bit deeper guided meditation. And after the meditation, we'll have some time to talk, whether you want to talk about the experience, ask questions about Novasutras, or share anything else that's really up for you right now. So we'll open that up so we have some of that community connection time. So as I go into it, I'm gonna mute everyone and share my screen so you can see a little bit what I'm talking about, and we'll have it set that way through the meditation. And then after that, we'll open it back up. But does anybody have any questions before we go into that part? All right, everybody feeling good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So here we go. So just invite you to sort of take in this idea of being at the equinox. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that means, but it's a location in space, and it's also a very special time. And different traditions all around the world celebrate these times because they really are global. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So the precise moment of the equinox actually happened just over 5 hours ago. And that precise moment is the time when the orientation between the sun and the earth is such that the sun is angled actually directly over the equator. And this has certain things that people can see and detect, and a lot of cultures have built monuments to mark the equinoxes. Novasutras is bringing together science and a kind of earth-based spirituality as we seek to co-create practices to really celebrate this union between our rational and emotional, intuitive, spiritual selves. We'd like these to be a real celebration of human existence, of connection with the earth, fully recognizing the beauty and power of nature. So we celebrate the solstices, the equinoxes, and the cross quarters because these are amazing planetary phenomena about the interaction of our home planet and our sun. You know, this is actually just science. It's something that all observant humans can agree on all around the world. So we celebrate the equinoxes in March and September, the solstices in June and December, and then the cross quarters, the points between the equinoxes and the solstices. These are essentially, the cross quarters are essentially the mid-seasons, whereas the equinoxes and the solstices are the transitions between seasons. And the seasons that we experience are related to the orbit of the Earth around the sun and this angle of the tilt of the Earth that changes how the northern and southern hemispheres are sometimes tilted more toward the sun and sometimes tilted more away from the sun. At the equinox, we're actually right in balance, where the axis is not favoring either the northern or southern hemisphere. That means at the equinox, the sun is directly overhead at the equator, and everywhere around the world, the sun rises precisely due east on the equinox and sets precisely due west on the equinox. Everywhere around the world, on the day of the equinox, day and night are about equal length. The only little exception is at the poles, where it's this clear twilight, this transition between the time of light half of the year and the dark half of the year. So when you're north or south of the tropics, that tilt gives you the seasons. When you're more angled toward the sun, more warmth, more light, longer days. This is the summer that the Northern Hemisphere is just leaving. Soon we'll begin to be angled away from the sun, shorter days, cooler, and fall into winter. So in Novasutras, we choose these 8 times of the year, the equinoxes, the solstices, and the cross quarters between them for what we call our octal meditations. And at this time, we focus on the 2 fundamental concepts. Oops, a little bit ahead of myself here. Our 2 fundamental concepts of Agaya and Ubuntu, which I'll get into in just a moment. So as I said, at the equinox, this is actually a very precise moment in time. It happened early this morning when the sun was directly overhead at the equator in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean between Africa and South America. Since then, the sun has moved, or honestly, what's happened is the Earth has rotated so that the sun was directly overhead on the equator going through the Amazon basin in South America, going over the Andes, going over the Galapagos Islands, and now is in the Pacific. For all of us here in California, that means the sun is getting close to due south. So this relationship, this balance of day and night, this clear directionality of the sun, again, is a way that people have set up temples and other markers to really orient themselves, to know where is east, where is west, to recognize this transition, this midpoint between the season of warmth and the season of cold. These transition points then become a cycle, a reminder, a signal to really drop in and experience Agaya and Ubuntu, our connection with the beauty of nature, our connections with one another. Agaya is a new term, and it's a fusion of this word Gaia that scientists use to talk about the complex, interdependent, emergent properties of life that are constantly co-creating and generating opportunities for ever more complex and beautiful life to emerge. And we fuse that with this Greek term agape, which refers to universal, transcendent, or divine love. So when we say Agaya, we're really talking about life as an expression of transcendent love. We're recognizing and feeling the awe, the gratitude, the joy, and wonder of getting to participate in this co-creative dance of life on earth. Ubuntu is really about focusing on those connections, the interdependences, the way that we make one another possible, the way that we shape each other, whether that's in a community of humans, as we learn from one another, help one another, or the broader community of nature, where plants depend on tiny organisms in the soil to get access to the nutrients they need. When plants form partnerships with animals for pollination or for spreading their seeds around. Ubuntu is a fundamental principle of nature, one of the ways that Agaya is most truly expressed. And particularly for those of us who grow up in cultures that emphasize independence, it's really important to remind ourselves very specifically about interdependence. And Ubuntu, this word from languages of Southern Africa, captures that interdependence so beautifully. So when we call the corners, we are sending out wishes for all beings in all directions to abide in Agaya and Ubuntu, to be woven together in the human and more than human world with reverence, joy, generosity, gratitude, and loving kindness. So when I think about calling the corners and what it means as a ritual, a couple of important insights are, first of all, we're orienting ourselves, thinking about where we are and where other things are in relation to us. So it's kind of a way to almost find your spiritual address. really dropping into the location that you live in and what that's like and how it relates to other parts of the world. And sending out our wishes for all beings to abide in Gaia and Ubuntu is not so much what you hear about opening sacred space. The sacred space is already there. This is an invitation to open ourselves to that sacred space, to find our location in it, to become part of it, to raise its vibration by really feeling that inner connection. So that's how I see what we're doing when we call the corners. So again, depending on your setup, where you are, what's going to be comfortable for you, I invite you to turn and face each compass direction as we call them out. Or you can simply turn your head while you're sitting, or just, even if you are looking in those directions, also try to hold in your mind what's out from there. What does the rest of the world look like in that direction? So it's midday here in California, so I'll start in the south where the sun is for us. Work our way around the compass directions, up and down, and then we'll each start from where we are and radiate out in ever widening circles. So get yourself ready, and we'll begin with the south. May all beings to the south abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May all beings to the west abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May all beings to the north abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May all beings to the east abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May all beings above abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May all beings below abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May each one of us abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May the watersheds where each of us live abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May our bioregions abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May this larger bioregion, the California Floristic Province, this land of fires, may it abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May this great continent, Turtle Island, North America, abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. May the deep and wide Pacific Ocean abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. And may all beings belonging to Earth's beautiful, bountiful, beneficent biosphere abide in Gaia and Ubuntu. So now I invite you to really get settled in. Sit comfortably, lie down if you want. Really drop into your body. Feel the connection between you and the earth. The way the earth draws you, holding you, and the way that you pull on the earth, the way that you draw the earth to you and hold it. Then I invite you to feel the heaviness of your body rooting you into the earth, drawing strength from the earth, connecting and settling and being embraced. And then on your next in-breath, I invite you to also feel yourself rising up, still rooted, still held by the earth, but reaching up toward the sky and the sun. Like a great tree, digging deep into the soil's darkness and reaching high into the light and air. Feel the length of you stretching. Feel the way the breath moving in and out of you is helping you to connect sky and soil, to be a link between heaven and earth. Feel the way that you are like a tree. And pause for a moment in gratitude to all of Earth's great, beautiful trees, connecting soil and sky, heaven and earth. Let yourself think of those trees as our allies, as partners and friends who are helping us. They provide us beautiful oxygen to breathe. They pull the carbon that we release through our exhalations, through our fires, through combustion. They take that carbon into their bodies and build beautiful, tall structures filled with life and wonder. The trees are working to help heal the planet and inviting us to participate in that great work with them, to be better allies. So I invite you now to take a nice, long, deep breath in. Hold it for just a moment and really savor it. And then let it out with a sigh. Inhale slowly through your nose, welcoming in that beautiful oxygen, welcoming in the gift of all that's green. Exhale slowly and completely, allowing all of the tension to leave your body on your out breath. Feel your chest and belly move as you inhale and exhale. Feel the air passing in and out of your body. Feel your breath as participation in this great dance of life on earth. Continue to take deep, relaxing breaths as we welcome in a greater appreciation of Ubuntu and Gaia. Ubuntu expands our awareness of connection and interbeing. Think of all the people in your life who share love with you. All of the people who feel that sense of connection with you, even if they're far away. Extend that wonderful sense of connection to all of the people with whom they're connected. And all of the people with whom they're connected. And out to all of the people all around the world. Really let yourself feel this reciprocity of interconnection, this potential for love and respect, for support. Just let yourself envision a world strengthened and woven together through Ubuntu, through this recognition of our interdependence. And then feel how that Ubuntu extends to the more than human world, to all the animals, all the plants, the fungi, the microbes. All of them have things to teach us. All of them feel our presence and our influence, just as we feel their presence and their influence. Again, tap into that gratitude for all of these connections. Gratitude for all those beings in the bioregion where you live. The plants, the people, the other animals. And thank them for the ways that they enrich your life. This feeling of gratitude helps us connect with the profound wonder and joy that is Agaya. This amazing, transcendent love and energy and potential for life. Agaya expresses the deep sense of wonder we feel when we catch the scent of pine in the air, when we see migrating birds flying gracefully overhead, when we hear the howling winds of an approaching storm. When we feel the cool droplets of the rain, or the warmth of a friend's hand in ours. Agaya is what touches us when we gaze up into a clear night sky filled with distant stars. It's our profound connection to the sacred beauty of our universe. As you gently inhale and exhale, invite this sacred joy of Agaya into the center of your being. Inhale to bring in that joy, that wonder, that awe, and exhale with gratitude and humility and devotion. Inhale Agaya and exhale Ubuntu. Inhale Agaya. Exhale Ubuntu. Inhale Agaya. Exhale Ubuntu. Now, let yourself make the shift to turn that around. Inhale Ubuntu, this sense of interconnection, like an embrace, like support from all over the world. And exhale Agaya, spreading joy and wonder out into the universe. Inhale Ubuntu. Exhale Agaya. Inhale Ubuntu. Exhale Agaya. Inhale Ubuntu. And exhale Agaya. Just continue to let Agaya and Ubuntu move through you in gentle waves. Feeling Ubuntu and Agaya as your own pulse. As this energy moving between you and the earth and the sky, cycling through us. Breathing with gentle waves. Ubuntu, Agaya, Ubuntu, Agaya. As your breath cycles through you, as Ubuntu and Agaya cycle through you, feel yourself on the turning earth, balanced between light and shadow, between day and night, between summer and winter, at this time of the equinox. Feel yourself on this turning earth as it dances around our sun, a wide ellipse. Traveling in cycles. As the earth travels around the sun too is traveling in a cycle, moving around the heart of our galaxy, with all her planets dancing around her in a beautiful spiral, this helix through space-time. Spinning, orbiting, spiraling forth. How does it feel to be on this lovely sphere of our home world, in this spiral dance around our sun, as we travel around the heart of our galaxy? How does it feel to know that every atom in your body, every atom in the trees and grass, every atom in each butterfly, in the bison migrating on the plains, the caribou migrating across the tundra. Each atom in everything that makes the earth was once in the heart of a dying star. Rising from those flames, coming together as ashes to form our own solar system. We are all expressions of that celestial fire, of that capacity for the universe to create beauty out of destruction. This amazing planet that brings forth such abundant life. That tragedy and joy cycle together, and we are part of that dance as well. Creation and destruction within us, around us. And here at the time of the equinox, we can hold that balance, knowing that some things will fade and new things will arise. In our spiral dance around the sun, around the galaxy, we've just passed that point in the Earth's orbit that marks the equinox. From the Earth's equator, the sun is directly overhead, shining down, now over the Pacific Ocean, west of the Galapagos Islands. The sun has made a brilliant path, tracking from that moment of the equinox in the middle of the Atlantic, across the teeming, vibrant jungles, the beautiful rainforest that is the Amazon, one of Earth's 3 green hearts. As the sun passes overhead, it draws the water up into the trees who exhale it, creating clouds and rain, shape the whole climate of the earth through this movement of water enabled by sunlight, by the miracle of life and growth, this wonder of trees and sky and soil. And that equatorial sun now dancing over the brilliant waters of the Pacific. Envision us all together there now, as if we were on a raft on the Pacific Ocean, with the sun shining down directly above us. We stand up and cast no shadows except directly under us. Everything is illuminated, brilliant, sparkling. Imagine taking all of that shimmering radiance from the sun overhead and drawing it down into us through our crown, down into our hearts. Feeling that warmth, feeling that tremendous energy. And through that incredible power of life within us, we transmute that raw energy of the sun into life and love, into a Gaia and Ubuntu. Feel that Gaia and Ubuntu building inside you and beginning to shine forth, sending loving kindness out into the world. Each of us together, radiating out Ubuntu and Gaia to all beings, out across the deep and sparkling immensity of the Pacific Ocean. Together, we are shining a Gaia and Ubuntu to every place on earth, now touched by the light of this equinox sun. From pole to pole, across the Pacific Ocean, the Americas, the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, all the way around the world into the dark of night, sending out a Gaia and Ubuntu from each of us, from us together in community. Shining a Gaia and Ubuntu out to all the beings of Earth's beautiful, bountiful, beneficent biosphere. Shining Ubuntu and a Gaia out from our beautiful blue homeworld into the universe. Together, we can inhale Ubuntu and exhale a Gaia. Together, we can inhale a Gaia and exhale Ubuntu. Together, we feel ourselves connected to the life all around our beautiful, wonderful, fragile planet. We feel the way that all of that life is supporting and uplifting life around it, all around the world. Inhaling Ubuntu and Agaya. Exhaling Agaya and Ubuntu. I invite you now to feel the energy of Ubuntu and Agaya moving through your own body. Feel it weaving together all the fibers of your being. Feel Ubuntu and Agaya in the weight of you, supported by the earth. Feel Agaya and Ubuntu rising up in you and connecting you with the sky. Feel the weight of your hips and legs and feet drawn toward the earth. Feel the lightness of your chest, your heart moving up toward the sky, releasing your shoulders, opening you up, energizing your arms, your hands, your fingertips, energizing your throat, your head, the space between your eyebrows, energizing the crown of your head, shining forth from you. Feel yourself again like the trees rooted deeply in the earth and rising up, reaching for the sun and the beautiful air. And then slowly start to wiggle your toes, your feet. Let your ankles move, your lower legs, your thighs. Shift your hips back and forth just a little. Feel the curves in your spine and let them move back and forth. Roll your shoulders a little. Gently move your arms, your wrists, your hands. Wiggle your fingers. Stretch your neck. Start to move your head back and forth a little. And then very gently, when you're ready, you can begin to open your eyes and come back to where we are together. We give thanks to all the trees and plants, the living green things of earth, for providing us with the oxygen we need to breathe in, and for taking the carbon we release to build up their own bodies. Thank the trees for showing us how to link heaven and earth together. Thank all the people of this earth with good intentions. Thank all of those working for peace and unity and healing. And thank you for becoming part of a community dedicated to Agaya and Ubuntu, to the beauty and wonder of life on earth and our infinite capacities for love. Take this time to thank yourself for sharing in this worldwide meditation. Thank yourself for taking this step toward global wellness and awareness, and toward a vision of the world abiding in Gaia and Ubuntu. So now we're going to move into a little conversation space. And as we do that, we ask that you listen deeply and respectfully as others speak, that we honor different points of view, give our full attention, and assume the best intentions of others. That when we're speaking, we're sharing honestly and authentically. Try to leave a little silence after someone speaks, to give room for their words to settle into you. So I invite you to unmute when you're ready to talk. And if there's anything that's up for you that you want to share, you can just unmute yourself and speak into the room. Is there anything that came up for anyone during the meditation that you want to share? Barbara, I'm going to mute you unless you want to speak, because I'm hearing wind there.
It's wonderful. Sure.
All right.
It is wonderful to hear, in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking while we were meditating about the vote. If we're going to protect the voters and the votes at the polls, why they're endangered. I don't know what anybody knows about that.
Carol, just hearing you say that in this context, I'm wondering if there is a way in which we might come together on election day and just meditate for peace and protection for all of the voters who are going out in dangerous places. In the US, it is a very fraught and potentially dangerous time right now. So thank you for that. Oh. So I think I've set it so that everyone can unmute yourself, but that doesn't seem to be working for everyone.
I think the icon might be confusing, because in order to unmute yourself, you have to touch the icon, which has a diagonal line through it.
Yeah.
And then mute appears to be on, but it's on when there's a diagonal line through it.
Right. You're muted when there's the red line through it, and you click it to unmute. If you want.
And it will appear that you are muted because the mute symbol is right there.
It says mute under there, yeah.
So anybody who's in doubt can try clicking on that line through the mute and see if you can talk.
I don't know if we want to. Go ahead, Orion.
Technical tip.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've encountered this, but when I muted myself again, after unmuting, I was back into the mode where I had to wait for Michelle to unmute me. So
okay.
while Michelle figures
just
things
fix
out,
that. Thank you. Okay.
I will. Oh, okay. Well,
I didn't realize that was a separate control. Now I've got it.
while I have the proverbial talking stick, I just had this sense in me with this meditation of like a deep, like a need to cry, like really deep inside, kind of like this, almost like a, I don't know how to describe it. It was like a little bit of grief, but also a lot of like very innocent joy. And I, tried to give voice to it, and that was nice, but it really was quite an experience. Can't quite put it to words, but I wanted to share that, and thank you, Michelle.
I know I did cry. Very deeply touched, just uniting to every bird, bug, blade of grass, just the reverence and the feeling of reverence that you created and brought out in me. Being connected to all was just so, it was really beautiful. And I pray all beings feel the reverence for everything that they can see, touch, taste, and not see, touch, and taste. Because I know it's possible. And the joy that I felt, with some of the breaths in and out, it was like all the birds in the Amazon were flying into my heart and out of my heart. It was this really amazing feeling, experience. Getting hot.
Oh.
And after the meditations and reflections, I would love to maybe have some talk about, dare we go into the political realm?
We're open for that, and I'd set this as 90 minutes, which still gives us 18 minutes at least. And if people want to stay on longer and continue conversation, we can do that as late as we need to today. So yeah, for sure.
Pass the stick, to be clear.
Thank you.
Michelle?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you and honor you for hosting this and setting up Novasutras. It's always a blessing and amazing to be in a meditation guided by you. Thank you.
I just want to share that coming out of where I am when I guide the meditation, and then to come, sort of back into the room and hear all these beautiful faces. And I'm just so delighted to see everyone. It's wonderful to be in community with you all.
I want to say that I'm happy that there are people I haven't met before here. I've been away for a long time, and I'm not that frequent, but I've been coming for a while. My sisters asked me if we ever met in person, and I had to reach back into my memory to find that. It was in the forest.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, several people on this call have been to, we do a practice called Yoku, forest immersion. And so we did that together up through, I think the last one was, did we do one in February? I'm not even sure. I think we did. And then it was the March one that we had to cancel. Yeah. And we also started some practices where we just come together and do kind of a silent meditation and witnessing outdoors, but in a beautiful natural space at Lighthouse Field in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And these are things that I'm hoping that Santa Cruz County at least is safe enough that we can start to do that again for people who feel ready. I know not everyone is ready to do that, but outdoors, socially distanced, masked, it is reasonably safe. About as safe as we can pull off. So I'm haven't set any dates yet, but we will be doing that again. Hopefully within the next few weeks, we'll venture out and do that some more.
Can I ask something? I go outside without a mask on all the time. And I put it on if I'm, closer to people than is good.
Yeah.
Like if I can't avoid somebody on a path that's narrow between vegetation, put it on. And sometimes when there's room, I'll walk off the path to avoid the other people, which I feel bad kind of doing, but it might be a good idea.
Yeah. Well,
I just think it'd be able to take off the mask sometimes outdoors when we're having a gathering where we're distanced enough.
Distanced enough, and if it's only a few people, that's pretty safe. As you get to more people, the risks grow. So it is a challenge that our instincts of what's polite have to really shift about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Colleen, did you have a related comment, or are you wanting to say something else? Oh, you're muted here.
She said no.
Okay.
I do. I actually take a big deep breath and I hug my people. So I'm like, you ready to hug? Let's take a deep breath and just. And so that's the level that I'm at, because I miss hugging my friends, especially in Santa Cruz with my friends' houses burning. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to freaking hug people if they're okay with it. Do it safely. So, and I got my angels. They protect me.
You mean kind of air hug, right?
No, we take a deep breath, and then we come together and we physically hug each other, and then we step.
Hold your breath while you hug.
Okay, okay.
You
Get
know,
it.
yeah. Also good then to clean your hands afterward.
Hands.
Yep. Just in case.
Walk around with my what's that? The alcohol type
Right.
shit. So
Yeah. So other things people are thinking about, feeling right now?
focus on the swing states. I was in an election integrity group with 100 of us yesterday with people from all over the country, and in the swing states, the voting machines are connected to the internet and they're hackable. And we have to make sure that there's petitions going on right now. People are calling representatives in the swing states and say, unplug the freaking modems. So that's my little sorry.
Yeah.
Download there. Yeah.
Great.
Big deal.
Another ally of ours in Novasutras is helped set up an organization called Election Security that's actually gathering people with essentially, computer backgrounds to test voting machines and to do security checks on things. So I don't have all of the details. I don't understand how all of that works, but it's sort of a white hat hacker collective, if you know what that means.
Okay.
Trying to figure out about how to make voting machines more secure. So that's a group out of New York, but our friend Lionel Church is helping organize that. So Summer, I'd love to put you in touch with Lionel and anybody else who, if you are one of those computer experts or know people who are, or just want to help support making that happen, that's an outlet as well.
It's nice to know that someone is attempting to help protect that, knowing how easily they can be broken into. It is surprising that more hasn't been done at the government level.
Surprising, not surprising. I don't really think they want us all to vote. There's definitely the elite club. So that's a problem. So, I mean, little plug, I'm launching a whole different American-owned voter platform and social network that we all collectively own and we all collectively vote on, and we have our own living poll, and we can slap lawsuits if the official numbers don't match our numbers. I mean, we're unfortunately not going to be super prepared for this election, but small elections in New York are coming up in spring of 2021. So this White Hat Collective in New York, we get this, and we can be very CD focused, which is a big deal because, I mean, Detroit, Michigan, if they hack just Detroit, they steal Michigan. So it's like the level of local paying attention we need to be doing and know where we get robbed. And I've been doing this for like 6 years now. Others have been doing it for like 30. So I'm just a beginner, but this is a big deal. So I'll put two links. I'll put the link to the swing state. There's a YouTube video about the hacking and the mode needing to be unplugged. I'll put that in the chat. And then I'll put a link to my site also if you want to come check it out and help out. That'd be great. That's okay?
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks for that, Summer.
Right back.
Hey, y'all.
Yep.
I've got to slip out of here. My phone's going to die.
All right.
So,
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
love y'all.
Lovely to meet you.
Take care.
All right. Great to
Yes,
see you,
you-
Barbara.
Thanks for the trees in the sun.
Hope to see you at some of our future events.
Oh, I try, but sometimes my calendar doesn't remind me.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
I got that. All right, bye.
She's gonna love the forced immersion.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's one that is calling out to us to get that happening again.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Shinrin Yoku.
I'm just putting Lionel's work into the chat as well. Thanks for all the extra info there somewhere.
Sequoia, can you write that down for me, please?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
And you can all save the chat instead of having to copy it or write anything down. The little 3 dots next to where it says everyone in blue, you click on that and you hit save chat.
I don't think that works on the phone connections though.
Okay. Yeah, I have
the same on phones because I've looked for it before on phone and haven't been able to find a place to save chat.
I just used the snipping tool. Sorry for interrupting you.
Sorry, Sequoia, what was that?
There's a application on this computer called the snipping tool, and so I used that to take a picture of the chat. A little more legible than my own handwriting.
Oh, right. So you could do that on, if you know how to do a screen capture on your phone.
Yeah. It's also this button on an iPhone and this side button. You click that both at the same time and that takes a picture of whatever's on the screen.
Okay. Hot darn.
Hadn't thought of that one. Oh, so many smart people. I love this.
Could you repeat what you said about the iPhone and the side button? Because I don't know. My sisters have iPhones and I want to tell them about that.
That little button right there, just the home screen button, and the button on the side of the screen. If you go like that at the same time, boom, I just took a picture. So you click
What
that.
is the button on the side of the screen? Is that the on-off button?
Yeah, so if you hold it, then if I hold that button, then that little thing comes on that says, you want to shut down your phone? That activates.
Says what?
And that's what turns that on. That's to turn off your phone. So you would ask, yes, is that the on-off button? And the answer is yes. It's the on-off button on the side. If you're looking at your phone, on the face of it, it's on the right side of your phone.
I know.
One button. On
Some people's older phones, it's on the top.
Right.
Great.
And when you push the on-off button while you're pushing the home button, that takes the screenshot?
Exactly.
It won't ask you to turn the power off and on if you're holding the home button?
You click the 2 buttons at the same exact time and it'll do a screenshot. Sometimes I don't do it at the exact same time and I have to do it again, but it works. It's a consistent thing. It's built in to do that. Sometimes our fingers, might not have the best hand on the phone or something.
Okay, and how do you find your screenshot once you've taken it?
It goes right into your pictures. So where all your pictures are saved when you take regular pictures, it goes right into there.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I know on at least on Android phones, it varies which 2 buttons, but I think it's usually the on off and the volume down button simultaneously gives that. But I think each phone or each operating system is different about it.
Okay, we can look that up.
Yeah. Wow. So we're getting close to the top of the hour, and if folks need to go, I want to just share screen and give you a little bit of what's coming up for Novasutras, but then we can stay on and continue the conversation if we need to. So I'm just going to go back into that. And we can skip through that. We do, need help to keep growing Novasutras. So if you are able to support our work through Patreon or PayPal donation, or if you have time and energy and want to help with projects, you can sign up on our website to be a Novasutras uplifter. So you'll find all of that on our website. One of the best ways that you can help us grow, though, is just to talk to other folks who you think might appreciate these kinds of things and invite them to join an upcoming event. We have every week open discussions. We call them discussions in difficult times. So these are just open conversations. The topic sort of emerges from whoever shows up and what they want to talk about. They go for about 90 minutes, and those are Mondays and Thursdays at 11:30 Pacific time. Next week, on Tuesday at the same time, I'm going to offer the first of what I'm calling Reconnection Rituals, which is going to be work based on Joanna Macy and the work that reconnects, where it's just a sort of a space to reconnect with nature and our deeper selves a little bit. The last Wednesday of the month, we have what we're now calling Catharsis Conversations. And this is conversations that are specifically around processing, our grief, our pain, our rage in a healthy, supportive space. And we do offer meditations at most of the 4 main quarter phases of the moon. Tomorrow actually being the first quarter, we're just saying that happened today. So the next one will be on the full moon on October 1st. We're having a special, more political event, these workshop based on George Lakey's How We Win, a guide to nonviolent direct action campaigning. And that workshop, the public workshop, is Saturday, October 17th. And if you're interested but can't make the 17th, I can invite you to join the beta test, which is coming up on Friday the 2nd. Also, for those of you who are Novasutras uplifters, definitely please join the beta test because we want you. And you probably already got an email about that. Our next Octal Meditation is on the cross quarter, which is going to be November 7th. It looks like the meditation's just before 3 p.m. Pacific time. Actually, I'm not sure if that's Pacific Daylight or if we'll have changed by then. But anyway, it's 3 p.m. Pacific. So we'll probably do a meditation actually that will start at 2:30 Pacific and go through that cross quarter. And you can always find out more on our website. You can also subscribe to our newsletters. We post a blog somewhat irregularly right now, but hopefully with help from more uplifters, we'll get that going. You can learn about all the events there on our events page, and you can find some links to some recordings of guided meditations. And you can follow Novasutras on all the usual social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, in addition to YouTube. And we have some recordings on Insight Timer, if you use Insight Timer for meditations. So those were the things that I wanted to share, and we can close out. And I think unless someone has something they really want to say to the broader public, I will go ahead and stop the live stream, but then we can leave it open for conversation. So any last pronouncements to the world of YouTube before I stop the live stream?
Remember, you are love.
Yes, beautiful. All right, well, Ubuntu and Agaya to everyone watching this on YouTube.